Harley Quinn Season 3 Episode 10 titled The Horses and Sparrow. And this episode is a weird one to talk about because it is the end of Season 3. And we do have a Season 4 coming out. It has been announced that Season 4 is happening. We're changing showrunners. But this episode felt like an epilogue. Like, this episode feels like we're wrapping things up. We're saying goodbye to these versions of these characters. It feels like that. Because you're having points and characters who've been around since Season 1, Episode 1. And you can... Like, when you have characters doing the big reflecting thing of, like... Inside the episode, Harley and Ivy kidnaps the Joker because they're planning to kill him. Because if they kill him, it leads the both of them go on a certain path. And Ivy and Joker just starts reflecting on Harley. And they talk about how, Joker talks about, yes, I was a piece of shit back in the day. Yeah, I was. And all that. I didn't really care. Like, reflecting back to the pilot, this is what I was. Back from the first episode, this is the type of person I am, and see how much I changed. Like, I'm running for mayor, and I'm doing all the jokery type things, but I'm not killing people. I'm trying to help Gotham be a better place. You have these moments that you just like, you have Batman, who's, Batman's Batman, but he's trying to move on with his parents, and he's trying to move on. Like, can he still be Batman, but still not be like doctors, dead parents kind of thing. And Ivy, naturally the relationship between her and Harley has changed to a friendship. There's now a formal relationship, and they know how to work with each other and hurdles and all that type of thing. And Harley has, of course, she's the main character. She has this full arc of, like, she wants to be a villain. She wants to be her own. She wants to get out of the Joker's shadow. And then this goes on, and it becomes less and less and less, and she becomes a hero. She doesn't want to be a villain. She wants to be a hero full stop. And, like, and you're just like, this feels like they're wrapping things up. And it'd be quite interesting to see of how do they continue with the story. Like, it feels like the story's done. Like, the only criticism I have with Season 3, outside, like, I didn't care about that one, I didn't really care about that, is that King Shark and Clayface didn't have anything to do. I mean, Clayface had the Thomas Way movie, and he's saying to be Billy Bob Thornton, but it's like this brief thing. It wasn't enough to have this character show up like every single episode. It just wasn't needed. Of course, and same with King Shark. I'm like, King Shark would just leave and say, oh, I got other things to do, and then the rest of the episode plays out. So it doesn't feel, those characters didn't feel like they were needed, but there's still some highlights. Episode 8 was fantastic. Of course, the core vows with the whole orgy thing, that's fantastic. The first 3 episodes are fantastic. I mean, hitting as much I'm like, what's this the Joker episode, like, have a comment to the major plot? It's still a neat episode. It's still like a nice download episode. So there's still some neat things about it. I just bubble with the mind. I'm like, where do you go? Like, Season 2, you're like, well, Harley and Ivy are a couple. And we'll see them struggles and form, and their story will probably just get picked up from there. It's just a really interesting way how to do it. Like, I like the episode. I love the drama. I like the reflections of the characters. It's just going to be really, really interesting. I mean, I can kind of understand. I can kind of get what the poster is going to be. Probably Harley's going to be, like, swinging like Batman, like a wackle or something. But it's gotta be really, like, season 4 is just gonna be. I know it's gonna be a soft reboot. It could be also because of change the show was you want to give everyone the new show everything as a clean slate as much as you could possibly be, to wrap as many plot lines and loose ends as possibly be. And if it's the end, it's the end. If not, it's not, right? But it's just like when you do that, there's also a chance of like, well, is this versions of these characters done? You know, is their story completed? I don't know. That's the question. That's the thing about it while watching it. Like, Clayface gets the be careful what he wishes for. You know, he wants to be an actor. He wants to be a shapeshifter. But guess what? You've been telling me Big About Form for X amount of months or X amount of episodes or weeks, whatever. People just think it's Big About Form as Clayface. You know, it's not the other way around. You know, inside the context of the episode, it's just a really interesting. I would not be shocked that season 4 gets announced it's the final season. I would not be shocked, because it just feels like, what is there left to tell about this version of Harley versus, you know, then just like switching it for the sake of it, and then just like wrap out loose ends as much as you can. But I will, because you know, when you do Power Demons and then you do Poison Ivy doing the plant thing, and then Lisa Doom, and you know, you deal with Joker in the first season, it is a little bit weird because of Harley. You're like, what is that else accomplish? And that. So, is it a good episode? Yeah, I quite like it. And I think, you know, if it was the final episode, I think most people would be very satisfied with it. A very bittersweet ending. But I think, as just the end of the season, is the weakest season out of the 3. But I think it's a very satisfying ending to this current season.